Good morning, everybody. What's going on? What's happening? This is the Pat Bernard Show with your host, Pat Bernard himself, right here on the Stream Punk Entertainment Network and Sports Network. And my oh my, it is time for new beginnings. It is new beginnings here in Philadelphia Sports Talk. We had a brand new Cranley Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's time to move on because it's day one now. The celebration was last week. To me, they are no longer the champions because free agency is going to start soon. And we got to start from scratch all over again. We got to think like hunters because now we got the target on our backs. But I'll talk Eagles another time. We have bigger issues here in Philadelphia sports. Bigger issues. Good to see you again, my man. Same thing to you, Adam. We have bigger problems. And I'm going to address it right off the bat. Because there's a certain owner in this town and that I've really been thinking about. His name is Josh Harris. And I'm going to address this because this had me thinking about Mr. Harris. Because we go from Howie Roseman, the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles, winning a Super Bowl. Now we come here to the basketball team. It's a hot mess. It sucks. The landscape sucks about it. And right off the bat, I start to really scratch myself, really start to dive deep of, does this owner even care about this team? Think about it. He's got a hockey team that's in a mix of a playoff race. He has a football team that made it all the way up to the NFC Championship. And we have this hot, steamy, garbage basketball team currently in the NBA that holds the longest losing streak. I thought this was all supposed to be flipped around. I get it. Last night was an incredible game for the 76ers last night. They battled back. But did they walk out of South Philly with a win yesterday? No. They walked out with one of these. An L strapped to their foreheads. 7 straight losses for the 76ers. Drop down to the 12th seed. I mean, it's ridiculous. This team is 20-36. And now I wonder, is Daryl Morey on the hot seat? Where's Elton Brand to answer some of these problems? Should he be on the hot seat? Is Nick Nurse to you on the hot seat? Like, I get it. I truly understand. Nick Nurse, I totally get it. He's, but this problem has been going back to Brett Brown. Whether Joel Embiid's available, mince restrictions. I mean, there's so many. You have to have plans A through Z as far as backup plans to know how you're going to win games, and they can't do it. This team is just not good enough. This team can't build chemistry because they're always injured. Someone's always out of the lineup. No, the little pieces that they've twerked and tweaked in and trying to get younger with Quentin Grams and a couple other players that are just getting onto the floor and see if they can make it. Look, man, as soon they're going to be pulling fans out of the stands, as the old saying goes. I mean, soon they might throw me on the floor. And now they might be aiming for a high draft pick, so they might want to throw me onto the floor and see what I could do. And I can tell you what, I can't do anything. I'm fat and old. So, but I mean, it sucks because, again, this team has been dealing with injuries, right? Jeremy McCain really, really set this team back, and we know he was doing unbelievable work from the perimeter. Adams checked in here. I'm saying, unfortunately, the coach will get fired before the general manager does. Probably. You're absolutely right about this one. Adam says there's no fans to pull out of the stands. No, you're right. They might have to go Franklin, the mascot. They might have to see what he can do. Because this team is terrible. Terrible. And you're right, Adam. Most of the fans prefer the opposing. I mean, look at Thursday. It's been 10 years since I've seen the Wells Fargo Center. 10 years since I've seen a sea of green. Now, I'm not talking about Eagles green. I'm talking about Boston Celtics green. Like, this team stinks, flat out. Again, whip-de-doo, they made a game. They battled back. By halftime, they were down by 18 again. Like, do you know how hard it is for me to do post-game shows around here? Have to talk about the same old thing. Sixers getting blown up by 20, 30 points. It's hard. It's tough. I don't blame the fan base for wanting to leave, not wanting to show up, not wanting to be here. It sucks. Oh, my main man just popped up into the program. My main man, Dave Yarnell. What's up, Dave? How are you doing this morning? Good to hear from you. Maxey had a solid game last night with 31 points. He did. He had 31 points. But Dave, it's got to be wearing this kid down. It really does. He's another one. Like, when I think about Tyrese Maxey, when I think about Travis Konechny, like, for those young studs to ever want to throw a ring on their finger, they got to leave here in Philly. They got to. There is no general direction. Like, any casual basketball fan could tell you that this team is too old. That this team, again, I just mentioned this on my previous show, The Attack and Third. The paper and reality is never the same come to sports. Like, what the 76ers signed us up for on paper was never going to, the reality of it was never going to happen. We saw that. They were being optimistic for a Paul George, an Eric Gordon, a Caleb Martin. I mean, that still didn't put no fire in my butt. It didn't reach in the backside of my pants and grab me by the knish to get me motivated. And I love being grabbed by the knish. Oh, good morning, Ryan. He says, hi, Ambler Pack. Hey, Ryan, how you doing this morning? Good to hear from you. But this team's horrible. Like, how do you get Sixers fans to want to come into this building? Like, now, Nick Nurse finally opened his eyes. It took him long enough. Last night was crunch time. Guess who was not on the floor in the fourth quarter? Guess who wasn't? The big guy. So you're telling your franchise guy is not on the floor because he's too injured. Like, I feel bad for him every time he takes the floor. I'm seeing talent just being waysided because the injury bug has chewed this dude up his whole career. Chewed him up. Like, last night, he was ice cold from the perimeter. Like, he could not drop any shots from the perimeter last night. And I'm watching one of the incredible historic big man to ever play the NBA fall side. That's what, like I said, this is what raises my question about the ownership of Josh Harris. You have a Devils team in the mix of a playoff contentions. You have a football team that took the NFL by storm, making it all the way out to the NFC Championship. I mean, they made it all the way up to the NFC Championship game. And then you have this crap, this hot pile of steamy poop that us Eagles, Philadelphia fans have to deal with. Yeah, but here goes the problem with that, Adam. They already should shut Embiid down. But this is the same conversations we were having last year. This is the same exact conversations we were having last year. Shut Embiid down. Exactly around the same time. Like, this guy, with this season, though, has only gave you a bundle of games. I don't think the guy's even give you 20 games yet, to be exact. Like, this is the healthiest he's ever going to be. And it's not good enough. Unfortunately, for the NBA, it's not going to be good enough. Same, Dave, you're saying the same thing. Shut the big man down. I get you. I understand, but no, it shouldn't be shut the big man down. It should be shut down and move on from him. It's like a catch-22 at this point with him. As a matter of fact, if anything, the team has shown you they don't need him on the floor anymore. They don't need him in a Sixers jersey anymore. And now they paid him the big bucks, and now you're locked into him like a bear trap. You don't need to pay him you don't need him on the floor anymore. If anything we learned through anything from this is the offense can run through Tyrese Maxey. We know what Tyrese Maxey can do. He did it last night. He had 5 threes. He has a nice little float game. He could cut to the net, no problem. No one is afraid of Joel Embiid anymore. Nobody. Not when you're banged up. Not when you're at 64%. No one is scared of Joel Embiid. Nobody. The Knicks showed you that last year's playoffs. Matter of fact, they went at him. No, who's scared of him? There's nothing for this team. Nothing. I mean, this team gives you nothing. No hopes. And and I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges, right? But we saw the Eagles were going to be a true contender in the NFC, in the NFL alone. Yeah, I mean, we saw the potential of them being a Super Bowl contender. What potential does the 76ers with this current roster have to offer? A play-in tournament? Woohoo! Whip-de-freaking-do. Can they seriously hang with Cleveland, Boston, New York in a series? No. Pacers? No. Nobody. They can't do it. This team's only hurting themselves. Like, it's crazy because we just want – I know most 76ers fans just want the season to be over with already. Like, we're at the halfway point now. we're not on the levels of Boston, Cleveland, New York, the Lakers. We're on no one's level. To get a play-in tournament ribbon, the heck does that do? It's sad. It's really sad. And every coach, like I said, from Brett Brown to Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers in the middle of all that, they have to try to dial up game plan after game plan, figure things out. Dave, I feel like we're there. It's been, 10 years since we've seen tank mode? And this team wasn't trying to potentially tank, but here we are. 7 straight losses. Like, where's the hope for this team? They're getting blown out. And it's crazy how they. Oh, man, I hit the light. Ugh. Sorry about that. Live radio. My light went out. Great. Just great. Wow. But yeah, Dave says, I hate to do a show in the dark. He says, time for this team to tank. Get the 6th pick. Yeah, okay. I'll be happy with that. Excuse me, everyone. Wow, this can only happen on live radio. But yeah, it's there we go. Lights on. Lights on, thing caps on. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, it's I don't know how to take this team. I'm frustrated. And that's how I feel when the lights go out with this team. Talking about the 76ers hurts. So I don't know. My brother-in-law, who's a diehard Philadelphia sports fan, has completely shut this team out. Has completely shut. He can't even watch it no more. It's painful. It's a painful product. There's not even like a other than Max. I mean, who do you get excited to watch come on the floor? Like, there's no signs of a young cat, trying to make an improvement and all that other stuff. Like, this team got smoked yesterday by Cam Johnson alone. And you know where he did all of his dirty work at? It wasn't from the perimeter. It was right there in the paint. Dave says they could build around Maxey, McCain, Grimes, and Butler. Yeah, maybe Butler. Okay. That sounds like a decent team for next year. But you still need a big man. If anything, Joel Embiid showed you need a dominant superstar somewhere. Like, you need a complementary piece to Maxey's game. However, Maxey, about 3-4 weeks ago, was carrying mud on his shoulders, and we're getting some big wins over the Lakers and so forth. So, yeah. Like, it just sucks to see this team, this franchise, going back to square one of where it was. Right back to tank mode, where we really didn't want to be. Like, everyone talks about, some people talk about, like, pressure being on the Phillies and stuff like that, but what about the pressure for the other teams? Like I said last week, This is why Howard Roseman has made the rest of the town look bad, and because situations like this, where the 76ers have yet to get their stuff together. In 7 8 years that Howard Roseman's been general manager of the football team, has got 2 Super Bowls. It's been 3 of them. Like, why can't Howard Roseman have a classroom with all the general managers of this town and ask to pick his brain? They need it. The way that guy wheels and deals, this team's collapsed. He says, Adam says, Howard Roseman needs to run all 4 teams. I'm telling you, Adam, he definitely does. But listen, I love talking, but if I talk any more Sixers, man, it's tough. It's tough to. It's you want to see improvement somewhere, and like Dave said, Danny Graham had a terrific game yesterday. I'm all excited. Played very well. There were some shine moments. Paul George put up 16 points, 15. Danny Graham's had 16 points. Maxey had 31. But they were getting cooked. The Nets really didn't have a playmaker from the perimeter. They did all their dirty work in the paint, which it was weird. So again, that's where I do got to knock Nick Nurse. The 3-2 zone that he runs for defense. Why am I seeing Drummond and Embiid on the perimeter for perimeter defense? That's where it's fundamental basketball. That's where the big men need to be. Down low. If not, that's where you get cooked at. The Nets were reading, and listen, it came down last night. It came down to really the buzzer beater, where the Nets were getting their own rebounds, and Nick Claxton just shooting it up at the right time. But like I said, whether they get blown up by 20 points, by a nose hair, the fact is they came up with the L, not the W. But yeah, let's get into Flyers conversation, shall we? Shall we? The Philadelphia Flyers. Now, like I said, this is the new beginnings. And the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday come out angry. And they let the Edmonton Oilers know about it, as they had a massive win in South Philly, winning 6-3 over the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oilers had no answer. The Edmonton Oilers got rattled. And what it really came down to, it was Leon Draisaitl taking on Michkov. Both guys were going tit for tat as far as scoring and facilitating. And I'm telling you, it was everything that I signed up for. I loved what I saw from Michkov. Michkov just looked like when his career hit a wall, he rebounded. The first goal he gets, he shoots the puck, gets his loose change, finds the back of net on Stuart Skinner. Second one, he was just being a facilitator. With him drawing the 2-1, him drawing defense to him, leaves guys like Sean Couturier open. Gets Owen Tippett the puck. Owen Tippett had multiple goals yesterday. Had multiple goals. Here goes some of the comments coming in here. I love it. And listen, Dave, Adam, love it. Love the comments coming in here, brothers. So you guys are saying, I mean, what I'm saying is that was a huge win. That's how you start. Now they got the Penguins coming in here. Let's go. Bring on the Penguins. Let's get ready for Sid Kid. That guy's always dangerous. That guy is always dangerous. Dave says the Flyers are so up and down. I can't figure them out. Solid win yesterday. Yeah, it was a solid win, Dave. It was a look, and that's you're right about that. That's been the tell story for them. 1 minute they play really hot hockey. Next minute, where do they go? You don't know what hockey team's going to show up on a night-to-night basis. But like I said, Mitch Koff showing up yesterday, him drolling, him getting the loose change goal, him getting his own loose change goal, then him being a facilitator, him drawing the defense, him setting up Sean Couturier for a nice goal. Then he was on the going the opposite way. He sets up Owen Tippett at the last second for a goal. Like last night was a solid hockey game from the Flyboys. Owen Tippett getting a pair of goals, going top shelf, going backhand. I mean, it was nice. The way this team orchestrated a win yesterday. Beating a high-powered offense, mind you. Like Leon Draisaitl had a pair of goals facilitating. I mean, that dude is just nasty. So for you to put away the leading goal scorer in the NHL, you had Connor McDavid, who is it's not in existence yesterday. Now I wonder if fatigue had a role with it yesterday. Adam says Flyers 5 points out of a playoff spot now. They need to keep up there the same energy to get it and get in. Yeah, well, it's going to be hard, Adam. It's not just the points. You got to remember the teams that are surrounding you. So you're there. Columbus wants a shot at it. Montreal's going to want to get in there. Penguins will want to get in there. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the East that are alive for those 2 last playoff spots. Good thing is Ottawa, who holds the last playoff spot, has dropped 4 straight. So you may be able to catch the 7th, 8th spot, which is held by the Red Wings and Ottawa. So, I mean, look, the playoffs hosts, and if you heard through the telecast yesterday, this team still believes in themselves. They believe that they're in the hunt. They want to get in. And also, as Flyer fans, it's a wait-and-see game. We're not going to get it all in, yes. We're not going to buy in. But I do want to get in this, and what made me not participating is a good thing sometimes. And I'll explain why. Because you have the Four Nations Cup tournament, and really, there was a few Flyers that took place in that, but there was a lot that didn't make it, weren't even selected. So maybe this has gotten this team more hungrier. Hey, listen, we can't get into the cup. Like, Team Canada didn't select me. I'm just using an example. Team Canada didn't select me, so let's go make a cup run. Let's get into a tournament somewhere. So this might be a revenge tour for most of the Flyer players. Owen Tippett had a spark. Michkov played well yesterday. And maybe this is a good momentum builder. Like I said, you out-dueled one of the top offenses in the NHL. You out-dueled them. At home. I mean, they out-dueled the Oilers yesterday, winning 6-3. Travis Konecny finds Andre Kuzmo. And I'm sorry if I butchered that, but just brought him in from the Calgary Flames. He dialed in, got his hands dirty. Finds it back in net from distance. So this Philadelphia Flyers team with a huge, massive win yesterday, outdoing the Edmonton Oilers at home, one of the high-power offenses, and maybe like Connor McDavid had fatigue, set in, but there's really no excuses. This team handled business. You got a home and home against Pittsburgh, and if you win both those games, now you're at 59 points. Now we're talking. And that, to me, you'll be in the hunt. Then you're in the hunt for a playoff spot. And like I said, Eminem, Vitaly Michkov, looks like he's back on his feet. The way he was just scoring and facilitating yesterday was unparalleled. Using his vision to link up with Sean Couturier down low, off the rush, making a quick pass to Owen Tippett so he could get his goal. I mean, this team's dangerous. Ristolainen last night, putting the nail in the coffin to get the 6th goal. I mean, this team can score. They're showing you they're eligible to score. But like Dave said it best, this team's up and down. They're like a roller coaster ride. But for now, hopefully this is the momentum builder. And like I said, you got to play Pittsburgh here on Tuesday, and then you go out there. Yeah, you could be doing something. This team is still alive. And maybe, and we're hoping, and I've heard John Tortorella, even when the Phillies had their World Series run a couple years ago, like he wants that atmosphere, and he can bring it here. But the team has to do that. And we're going to see if the Flyers can do that. I think they can. Now you get a Pittsburgh team's going to come here with the good old boys. You know who they are. You know who I'm talking about. Problem number 1. How to lock down Sid the Kid. Whether I know he's an older man now, but still, he's still putting up some production. He's still getting a lot of production. Is that a good old Sidney Crosby? He's got 18 goals and 41 assists. Like, he's still a lethal weapon. Got Chris Letang coming in here, Malkin, Erik Karlsson, former Flyer, Kevin Hollywood Hayes. It's going to be interesting. An interesting battle, for sure. It's rivalry week for the Philadelphia Flyers. And how are they going to get their job done? How are they going to handle business? They just got to play like they did yesterday. That line of Owen Tippett, Sean Couturier, and Michkov was really good to watch yesterday. Because we know Owen Tippett could score. We know Michkov could score. And you get the leadership of a Sean Couturier. You get him in some open spots, he could do damage. You get him down low, he could do some damage. Alan says the Flyers really need that break to help them for the rest of the get Millie back into the game for the second half. Yeah, and maybe. And I think you're right, Adam. I think that's what they need. I think they needed a break. I think they need to get it back, get their heads back. You know what I mean? Just relax. And you saw the team. What another key component for the Philadelphia the Philadelphia Flyers? They're all healthy. Everyone's healthy now. Oh, my main man, Nick. Good morning, buddy. What's going on? Nick says, I was at the Wells Fargo Center last night in attendance for the 76ers game. Hey, listen, I'm praying for you, brother. Praying how you made it through. I'm pretty sure you probably left by half after seeing them getting down by 18. But if you stuck around for that whole game, I mean, you saw a good one, even though they just can't figure it out. But anyway, the Philadelphia Flyers, they're going to have to keep their eyes on Sid the Kid, Richard Raquel, they're leading them in goal scoring, 25 goals, 24 assists. So, like, that's one thing the Penguins got going for them is that's an assist train. Like, their top dogs are not but assist animals. So you know they can facilitate the puck. You just got to be careful in that. It's going to be a tall task for John Tortorella and that defense. But this is why you brought in some new pieces. And so far, so good, what I saw yesterday. But yeah, you're going to have to take on the Penguins coming up here on Tuesday. And that's going to be a dogfight. But like I said, the Flyers get through Penguins on the back-to-back. You're at 59 points. It's going to be tough come Saturday. Look at the momentum, though. You get 2 wins over them. You got a tough game coming in Saturday, going out Saturday, going against the Jets. But if you get some momentum wins going, this team could show they can hang with anyone. There's early in the season, I know it was very early, but they showed that they can hang with Minnesota. They could put away some teams. Sam Harrison played okay yesterday. Again, you're dealing with a top offense, so I wasn't. I expected like Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid to find to light the lamp. I expected that they were going to get theirs regardless. But Adam says it says Crosby will be back on Tuesday from injury. He didn't play the last time they played. Yeah, listen. Like I said, they're fully healthy. It's that Pittsburgh team. That Pittsburgh team, there will be no excuses. Again, both teams want to keep their season alive. Sid the Kid doesn't want to see the Flyers jersey. You know how he feels. To me, this is facing the Cowboys twice in a week. The rivalry is back. It's crazy. We got the Penguins Tuesday and Thursday, and we got the New York Knicks on Wednesday. But yeah, the defense looked good yesterday. Michkov scoring yesterday. It's setting the tone for the Philadelphia Flyers. Owen Tippett finding the back of the net. Travis Konecny, linking up with Andre Kazumo, the brand new player from Calgary. Nick says, I did stay the whole game, but the fans were booing. Yeah, I expected the boo birds to come out. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So how do you guys feel about the Philadelphia Flyers? Are you like Dave? You feel like this team's mediocre? Or is this win? Do you feel like this win is first of many? Because if they could sneak into the playoffs, hallelujah. It's been like 4 years since this team made the playoffs. 4 years. They need it. They need to get into the playoffs. Bad. The Philadelphia Flyers need to get into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. The Flyers doing really, really well for themselves. So maybe this is first to come. Maybe this is the first win to come. Maybe this is the first domino that gets knocked down. And maybe so. And I'll be really excited for the Philadelphia Flyers. But yeah, I mean, massive win yesterday to make, like I said, that's where I say for this team, most of the team did not get in on the Four Nations. Could be a really good thing. You got to use that as a positive because with the goal that Michkov got yesterday, now he's tied for the top goal scorer as a rookies for the NHL. He may lock in to be Rookie of the Year. He may become Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's going to remain to be seen. He's still got another month of hockey to go, but it's going to be interesting to see what this Flyers team can do. Like he's at 39 points though, Michkov. Michkov's at 39 points, 17 goals. I mean, that's stunning. Stunning right now. It all to me, this all comes down to goaltending for the Philadelphia Flyers. Whether it's Vanotov, Kozlov, whoever's going to be the backup goalie is going to actually be one of the major X factors to this team's success. Sam Harrison showing you he could play. Don't check him out yet. But yeah, this team is rocking and rolling. Like you put away to me, like again, you put one of the top three teams in the Western Conference yesterday. And I get it. The Oilers have not been playing great in South Philly. They're one of those teams that hasn't had a great success playing here in all sports. But however, this team could build off of that. This team can get things going. Like I believe Michkov, I believe Travis Konecny is going to get red hot. I believe that Owen Tippett, those three individuals right there alone can make a change. And to me, it all comes, I know it sounds cliche, but to me, it all comes down to goaltending for this Philadelphia Flyers team. Goaltending is going to play a major role. Because if the defense and the goaltending can step up, like I said, it's going to be a tall task. I mean, it might not be on paper as far as standings for the Penguins, but they got a lot of guys who are going to do some assist work. They got a couple guys who can find the back of the net, but they got guys who can facilitate the puck. And that's going to be a tall order because you're going to have to keep your eyes everywhere. They're going to have to play tough man-to-man. They're going to have to play really good physical hockey in order to win this one. So, one more piece of news. The Philadelphia Phillies are going to get ready to – they've got some spring training this past week. I'm excited. Other than Wes Wilson going down, but he's going to be out for 6 weeks. Who's going to step up? And are you really excited for a Philly season? I mean, we got to get the Phillies talking here. It's going to be interesting to see what this team can do. Again, they had some minor tweaks, kind of still running as like the Philadelphia Union, running with the same team back. Well, what's going to be their thing? How can this team get me to believe that they're going to be a contender? And now I've seen they loaded up with pitching. It's great, but the bats is still going to be kind of the same. Other than adding Max Keebler from the Minnesota Twins. But, I mean, that lineup's still gonna be the same. I mean, it's gonna be hard. Am I excited for baseball? Absolutely, and I don't know what's gonna happen with this team. But on paper, I don't know. To me, the Mets got a lot better bringing in Soto. I mean, if they weren't dangerous enough, they got a little bit more tougher to beat with Soto being in that lineup. Adam says the Phillies play today against the Blue Jays. Yeah. Yeah, we get to see some action today. And I think, speaking of Adam, speaking of the Blue Jays, I think that's a big hurt to the Phillies. Losing Jeff Hoffman, losing cousin Jeff. I'm with you, Dave. He goes, Phil's same team results. Yeah, Dave, it's hard, you know. Team's a little bit older. Bryce is going to be a little older. Nick Castellanos, you know, all them. Like, what's going to be? How's this team going to draw you to? Since I mean, obviously, you want to go down there with the family because I mean, it's part of the summer, right? It's what you like to do. You want to hang down there. The kids get to have ice cream and enjoy baseball. I mean, it's Maracana, but X's and O's wise, how's this team selling me back to my TV, to me wanting to come there and buy a ticket more than just once? Like, how's this team going to want to get me to come down there other than opening day? We're out on paper. Does this team make me want to believe in them? They backpedaled from the World Series. They lost to the Diamondbacks in the second round in the NLCS, rather, I'm sorry. And last year, they lost in the NLDS to the Mets. Do you guys think the Phillies improved? It's time to have those conversations. I mean, I got nothing in for me to I'm not excited for this Phillies team at all. And I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to get juiced up for the Phils. But I got to see what this bench could do. I got to see not just the bench, but the starters. I mean, there were some games that were. I mean, they were swinging at anything. I mean, I've seen this team when the pressure's on, they'll swing at anything. So I don't know, Philly fans. How do you feel about this upcoming season? How do you truly feel? Are you optimistic for it? I don't know. Zach Wheeler, another year older. Aaron Nola, another year older. Suarez. I don't know Ranger Suarez is going to be the same pitcher he was at the start of last season. Christopher Sanchez took a step up last year. That one I will give you. The bullpen. I mean, there's a lot of questions going into the season. Will the bats be any different? Dave says the Phillies play the Orioles, not the Blue Jays. Gotcha. I don't know, Dave. You tell me where should I be excited? Brandon Marsh, Rojas. Love Rojas' defense game. Love when Rojas gets on base. I know what he can do. right? I mean, aggressive base runner, great. He's got all that. But he can't hit the ball. He struggles at bat. They're playing the yeah, right. I don't know. I'm trying to get excited for this upcoming Phillies season. Do you guys feel like so? I'm gonna. No, I'll wait till a little later in the upcoming weeks to do that. Your divisional winners and all that stuff. Who's stepping up? Who's stepping down? All that. But yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I don't know where to get excited for this Phillies team. Don't. I'm trying. I'm trying to buy in. I mean, I always go the one game that stood out to me last year was losing to the Orioles. The Orioles, I'm sorry, the Oakland A's. Because I did a post game coverage for EOP last year. And I watched a team on paper head and shoulders better than the Oakland A's. And yet they got thumped 18-3. I won't forget it. Here they got thumped. Not out there. They got thumped here. I forgot the batter's name, but he tattooed this Phillies team. Tattooed him. And it was like from there on, second half of baseball was horrible. Ranger Suarez, again, it was like the story of last year. Once Ranger Suarez got hit in that throwing hand, it was it. Now, there was some pluses. Like I said, Zach Wheeler, close to being a Cy Young. He was like second coming to getting a Cy Young. Christopher Sanchez stepped up. But that lineup, when that lineup got ice cold, they got ice cold and nobody was producing. Yeah, but Dave, I mean, again, Nola, Wheeler, and Suarez, or Sanchez, rather, I'm excited for. Suarez, I'm not. I'm not. Sure, Adam says, Schwarber, Nicky Castellanos, Marsh, and Rojas playing today. All right. Again, I'll watch some of the Phillies today because really, when it comes to Philadelphia sports today, that's the only thing that's on. There's nothing on today. Nothing. Nothing on today. But I'm going to catch some Phillies action, see what this team could possibly be, who's possibly going to fill in that last bench spot for Wes Wilson. Are we going to get the Trey Turner that we all signed up for? Because there's areas where he gets really, really cold throughout the course of the season. What's this team going to be about? It's a shame. I don't know. But I do want to end this show on a good note. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to be reality. I'm just trying to be real. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk real with you guys. And I want to close out on some notes here. Like I said, ultimately, though, in Philly sports currently, though, you have Flyers team with a huge win. They got a rivalry week coming up. The 76ers, hopefully they'll get together. Yesterday was a close enough. They got to a win in quite some time. The Philadelphia Union start their season off right with a huge win with a brand new coach and Brian Clinell. So you got to give them props for that, winning 4-2 down in Orlando on the road. The Philadelphia Wings, I will be talking that later tonight with all across all the time. I don't know what's happened to that team, man. I don't know. They got 5 wins and they forgot how to win after that. That team had, you want to talk about any team that's gotten ice cold. Where, it's been like 5 weeks. Where 5, 6 weeks. Where's the Philadelphia Wings been? Oh, thank you, Dave. Thanks, buddy. Have a great day. You too. And by the way, for everyone's checked in the show, my meal of the day, I'm going to go pasta. It's a pasta Sunday. Yes, pasta Sunday is going to return to the Gobbler. Gobbler needs pasta Sunday right now. I'm ready to do some eating. Yeah. So anyway, guys, and I want to say thank you so much for tuning with me. Stay tuned to Stream Punk Entertainment. There will be no post-game shows today, but however, like I said, all across all the time, I'll be on with those guys 8 o'clock tonight, talking about the slot fest of the Philadelphia Union, our Wings, and find out where has this team gone. But yeah, so I want to say thank you to everyone who's chimed into the show, Adam, David, and to everyone who just watched and from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Thank you. I am Pat Bernard here with Stream Punk Entertainment Sports, and I will catch you tonight and tomorrow night because I will be doing 76ers postgame. So yes, Adam. Thank you, sir. Yes, pasta and baseball kind of goes hand to hand, question mark. But yes, can't wait for that Rita Woodrice to boss out and have some Rita Woodrice and Phillies baseball. And that goes hand to hand. All right, guys, have a great one. I got to get my hair cut. See you.